seated. So if you want to sit on something, just to lift the hips up, that'd be great. Legs don't have to be crossed if it doesn't feel good on our knees or our hips. We can have them long, we can have the feet on the ground. Just have a nice long lifted spine. And then just have a nice long spine, but close the eyes. I'm just going to gently round the spine, just to feel into the spine. On the exhale, round, chin coming down, just bring the shoulders forward. Breathe all the breath out. Inhale, rocking the weight forward on the hips, lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the chin. Exhale, so just cat curling in a seated position just to warm up the spine. So start to synchronize the breath and the movement. And bring the mind into the body as we move, just feeling into how the sit bones feel, the feet, the legs, all parts of the body connected to the earth. And if it feels a good idea, just let the weight come over to the right hip as we start to swirl the spine round either side, round into the back, like we're inside a jam jar. Just getting all the jam off the edges of the jar, or honey, or Marmite, whatever you like. Just let that accentuate the movement. Exhaling as we come to side and back. Changing direction when it feels nice to change direction. And just start to make that little circular motion smaller. So we just feel the weight moving between the hip bones, the sitting bones. Let the hands come down to the earth and inhale, raise the arms to the sky. Interlock the fingers, push the palms away. Very gentle turn towards the left. Inhale to center, just turning, twisting the spine very gently, keeping both sit bones grounded. Turn first to the left, so when we turn to the right the next time, that'll be our last turn, and we'll come back to the center. And again, just pause, pushing the palms to the sky, so just making sure with the little fingers tipping down, arms maybe locked, and arms coming back by the ears. And just feel the sit bones connected, so draw the energy from the earth, rising up the body, connecting that universal energy above. And then exhale, rounding down, so round the spine, pushing our bra strap backwards, draw the chin down to the chest, rounding down, arms coming down. Shoulders rolling down. Inhale, lift the arms, rising up. Let the arms come past the ears. We'll see if we can keep the shoulders relaxed down. So the temptation of the arms are hunching up, the shoulders roll down. And then exhale down. So moving forward and backwards, again in your own time, just feeling into the shoulders, feeling into the shoulder blades. Using the breath to lift and rise. We pause with the breath, so that feels healthy, and then exhale, rounded. Tummy draws in, round the base of the spine, bone by bone, rounding through the bra strap, pushing the bra strap back, shoulders rolling back, arms coming down, and interlock the fingers in the direction. So little fingers on the outside, and then inhale, rising. 10 little fingers down to the earth, shoulders roll down from the ears, and exhale down. Slowly rising and lifting. Pause at the top and release the fingers and let the left hand come down to the earth, front right arm across. Right hip bone stays connected, turn the gaze under the arm. So this top shoulder comes back, so feel a nice stretch down the side of the body. Exhale, bring the arm forward, round the heart forward, down to the earth. Let the fingertips just touch down in front of this left hand. And then inhale, lift and open. Take the arm back and gaze backwards. Exhaling down. Fingertips just brush the earth, and then inhale, rising. Open the heart, that energy above. Exhaling down, bring the hands down to the earth, connect with that nice warm red colour of the earth. Inhale, rising up, opening up. And then rising, push the bottom hand away and change sides. Let the right hand connect to the earth and reach across. Let the fingers just come down to the earth. Inhale, lifting and opening. Take the arm back, open the heart, gaze to the sky, gazing back. Exhaling down. Inhale, lifting and opening. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Come back to center, bring the hands behind, maybe coming off our support if we're seated on some support, just coming off. We're going to warm into the hips. Let the legs come forward for a moment, just make sure the knees feel okay, so let the weight come back. Maybe just let the legs just move, windscreen right from side to side. And then walk the hands up, maybe bend the knees. We're going to bring our hands or our belt onto our right foot. Maybe just lean back a little bit just to feel a nice stretch on the back of the thigh. And let the hip knee come to the side, so start to move into the hip. And exhaling, inhaling. If it feels okay, then bring across the body. So we can either hold onto the foot and hold onto the knee, just to warm into that right hip, or we could put our foot into our inner elbow, our knee into the inner elbow, so just holding the hands. If it feels okay, we can lengthen the left leg, nice active foot. See if we can find a nice long spine. Feel the shoulder blades melting, dripping down the back body. Maybe lift the foot a little tiny bit. Feel a little stretch into the glutes, into the thigh, into the bottom cheeks and the muscles deep in there. And then again, bring the foot forward. Just some gentle movement forward. And now if you want to bend the left knee to find that long spine, you can do. I might just put a block under my hips. I feel like a bit of a strain on my lower back today, so I'm going to just put something under my small or something under my hips. See if that helps. And then we're going to bring our belt over that ball of the foot, and we're going to lengthen and just let the leg be long. If it feels okay, the leg can be long. Use the belt around the hands, just wind it round if we need. And we're going to push the heel away, stretching the back of the leg. Push the heel away, toes going back, shoulders roll down. So just notice if there's any strain in our back, and we can always maybe bend the left knee if we need. And a nice easy sensation in the back. Heart coming forward, head lifting, arms showing, rolling down the back. Push the heel away, and just maybe activate the toes. Breathing in through the nose, and breathing out through the nose or the mouth. Let the shoulders roll down the back. Lift the leg a little tiny bit higher maybe. And bring the belt into the right hand. We can use the left hand on the ground if we need. Lift the leg out to the side. So moving it out to the side and forward, just to feel into how this feels in our hip. If we find we don't need the belt, we want to just hold on to the lower leg, or if you want to put the fingers around the toes or around the foot, you know, just feel what feels good for you. Just moving into the hip nice and slowly. And maybe pausing out to the side, push the heel away, draw the toes down, shoulders relax down. And then bend that foot and bring the foot onto the left thigh. ground the left foot, and we're going to stretch a little bit more into the right bottom cheek. So we can either have our hands on the ground behind us and just find that nice long spine, or we could bring the hands behind the left thigh and bring the thigh in. Maybe the hands want to come over that left leg, and just feel a stretchy sensation, deep, 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 much stronger, deep sensation here. So the foot is flexed, toes are spread nice and wide. And we can just rock from side to side, or we can just pause. Foot as close to the bottom body as feels good. Just try to find a long, long spine, shoulders running down the back. And then breathe into that tight sensation in that right bottom cheek. That deep piriformis muscle, the top of the hamstring head as well. So breathe and soften here. And then release the hands, walk the left foot to the right, and just pause in this box position, square, or I think it was like a triangle myself, or maybe, I don't know. But it's just another stretch into the bottom cheek, and we can stay nice and tall. Any sciatica, any bad back, stay tall. Or if it feels okay, we can walk the hands forward, still a long straight spine, just focusing in on that right bottom cheek. When it eases off, we want to come further forward. Maybe dropping your elbows down. Breathe softness into the tightness. Just a couple breaths. And then walk the hands back. Bring the hands behind the body. Let the legs lengthen. Left leg, right leg. And again, just windscreen wipe, just checking the hips feel okay, the knees, the ankles, the back. Maybe just come to a forward fold so we can soften the knees, or the legs can be straight. It's just we want to have the back relaxing, so it feels better if the knees really bent or a little bit bent. Let's just really see, just gently roll from side to side, just making sure the back feels okay, there's no tightness, no strain. Checking our neck. Just moving the head, forward and backwards, side to side. And slowly walking the hands up. Going to bring the left leg in. And I'm just going to bring the hands onto the left foot and just maybe lean back, just moving forward and backwards with this leg. So again, we can use our belt on the ball of the foot. On a straight spine, so you may want to ease backwards, or you might be okay to hold both sides. This right knee can be bent if we want, so we can even ground the foot. Just move it forward and backwards, just easing into the hip, noticing how this side feels. Maybe having the hand around the belt. Right hand can be on the ground. We can move the knees to the side a bit more. See how that feels on our hip. Pushing the heel forward, tipping the toes back as you lengthen the leg. And then bend the knee to the side, warming into the hip. If it feels a good idea, when you bend the knee, we can bring it across the body and open to the side. So you can use that hand on the foot, hand to the knee. Just gently from side to side, seeing how this feels. Maybe lifting the foot up and then moving the knee forward and backwards still. And then come back with the leg nice and long. Maybe both hands stay on the belt, or we could hold the foot or the leg and then open the leg to the side. So again, if you want to be bending the knee, that feels better. If you feel you can warm into the hip more with a bent knee, then please do. Otherwise, a nice long straight leg, push the heel away. Noticing our back, if it's a nice straight spine. If it's not, just lean back a little bit. So we just have a straight spine, but it's not strain. And then come back to that side of movement. Again, we're going to have the foot in the hand or the crook of the elbow. Maybe holding the hands. Lifting the foot up. Give that tightness in the deep bottom cheek and just see if you release it. Lifting the shoulders, lift the ears. And then release that foot onto the right knee. Maybe just put the hands behind the back and see if you can bring the foot a little bit closer and then walk the hands closer. Nice active feet, toes spread nice and wide. Deep stretch in the left bottom cheek. So either stay here or move the leg, just easing into it, seeing what that feels like. Breathing loving kindness into our hips. Strong, loving kindness support. And then if it feels okay, just slide that bottom foot underneath the left and stack the feet on knees, knees on feet, or just cross the legs. We're going to have a look, looking for a stretch in this left bottom cheek. And if the back feels, it's not problem the back, stay nice and tall. We could bring the hands forward, walking the fingers forward. If it feels okay, we can come onto our elbows. Always put our head in our hands. Just breathing out that tightness. See if we can breathe softness and length in. Just a couple of breaths here. And then slowly bring the hands back up. Bring the hands behind the back. Lift the knees up. And of course you could have put padding under the knees, sorry I should have said that. And then bring the feet nice and wide, a little bit further away from the body. Let the knees just windscreen right from side to side. So just see how this feels. If it feels best to keep the hands on the ground and just doing this nice gentle passive warming into the hips, you can stay there, or you can walk the hands a bit closer. Hands could come onto the knees. We start to use more of our energy in our core. And we can always lift the feet up and lift the knees up, move from side to side. So we start to use the strength in our hips. So either keep the hands on the ground, and we can lift the feet and the knees. Or the hands can be on the knees. We're just seeing which hip feels a little bit more gentle, not strong maybe. My hip is definitely my right hip, I can feel that. And if that feels okay, we want to bring our hands off the body and just use our tummy energy, our hip energy. So we started on the left, so we'll finish with the knees to the right. And then we're going to come onto all fours. Now we're going to move towards a lunge. So if you want to put any mats underneath our knees, any pads under our knees, if you want to bring any supports forward under our hands, you can get them ready. Keeping the belt handy. I'm going to cat curl and either stay in cat curl or we can lift into downward facing dog. So either rounding up in down dog, dropping the knees, pushing back, just to sort of feel strength in the body. Fingers spread nice and wide. If you want to stay on the knees, cat curling, find what feels good for you today. So I'm feeling quite energetic today, not very energetic, but a bit, but I'm going to stay in down dog and work from this level, but please find what feels safe for you, getting what you need from your practice. So if we're in this down dog rippling, we drop the knees down, push the bottom back, then lift that bottom up, round the shoulders forward, and then push the knees down. So rounding and rippling. Maybe pause. So if we're in cat, the knees could hover from the ground. We start to use the energy in the thighs. And if we're in our down dog, knees don't really bent, pushing the bottom back. So we start to feel the thighs warming up, feel the heat being created in the thighs. And if we're in our down dog or even cat, shoulders roll away from the ears. Fingers spread nice and wide. Inhaling, exhaling. Drop the knees and set the right foot forward. If we want to find support underneath the feet, we can do. So we're just going to stretch the back thigh, just using that, always bring strength and energy and warmth into the muscle and then lengthen. So we're going to stretch these 4 big muscles in the thighs, our quadriceps. So just let the left knee slide away, hands on our shoulders, heart coming forward. And pause here and just think about what we want from this practice, what focus we want from this practice. So we're working on our hips and our thighs, all to do with our emotions. So really feeling strong and healthy and in control, balanced, whatever it is. Just bringing that little affirmation, those little words, inspiring us to feel a certain way. And push away any doubts, any self-doubts. So stay in a positive frame. Breathing and tightness away from the thighs. Back toes can lengthen and flatten. I find that a stronger stretch by flattening my foot. So you can have a little play with the back foot, how the toes tucked or lengthen. And then we'll change sides. So just pushing the weight back onto the back knee. And just bring that right foot back and bring the left foot forward. And then slide the bottom knee away. So again, the front knee is on top of the ankle, so it's nice and supported. And we just slide the back knee away. You can always try tucking the back toes and see how that feels for you. Our bodies are all different, so just because I feel that's a stronger stretch doesn't mean that you will, so a little play. We want to have a nice stretch in this back thigh. We are moving towards a nice dancer pose, which is a nice stretch on the thighs standing. So just breathe and relax, and then come back to our intention, our affirmation. I feel, I choose today in this moment to feel. I do feel balanced, strong, confident. And then just changing legs again. Bring the right foot forward. So we're going to change legs a few times, which I find quite strong work on my hips. So just moving that right foot back and the left foot forward. Left foot back, right knee forward. If you're using supports, you might find that now you don't need the supports as high. So you always stay on the fingers to keep strength in the fingers and the hands. Just changing, stepping back, stepping forward. And then the left foot comes forward the next time, pause, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, coming into a higher lunge. If you prefer to keep the knee down, please do. So we can find the fingertips light on the ground or on our support. This back leg's nice and straight, so we feel the heel pushing away. Hands can stay on our support or they can come onto the knees. And then just readjust the balance. We want to make sure we feel completely equilibrium, balance. Feet can be a little bit wider, like on skis if we need. And then lift the arms to the sky, open the heart. If we're feeling low on energy or anything's going on with our centre, hands can stay on our hips. Only lifting the arms if it feels a good idea. Shoulder blades roll down the back. Bring the hands behind, interlocking, squeeze the shoulders back, let the heart come forward. Lift the arms. We keep the shoulders away from the ears. Drop the hands down and come to stand on the left foot. Again, we can use our supports under our hands. Feel a nice connection with the toes on the ground and lift as the toes spread nice and wide. If you prefer to keep the back foot down, please do. Little micro bend in its left leg, and maybe find a lightness to the fingers, maybe one hand or both hands to the heart. Coming in and out, finding our way here, always a journey. You can come out and come back in again. Arms to our heart, our arms can come forward. Then drop the hands, changing legs and come down into a lunge again. So we can drop the back knee, just find that knee over the ankle, hands on our supports. Either stay with the knee on the ground or tuck the back knee and lift. Hands on the ground or our supports or hands on our knee. Back leg nice and straight if it's lifted. If you need to get the knee down, please do. Just make sure this front knee is right over the ankle. Hands to the sky or hands on our hips. Nice straight spine if our back isn't good, or a little arch in the back if that feels okay in our back. Just to open our heart. Strong heart, resilient heart. Confident heart. Then bring the hands behind the back and top the fingers, shoulders roll back, leaning forward. Keep the ears from the shoulders. And then release the hands down, come into stand. If it feels okay on the right leg. Again, back toes can stay on the ground, or they can lift, the leg can lift in line with the hips. So we can find a lightness to the fingers, little bend in that standing leg, maybe hands to the heart. Just let the shoulders roll away from the ears, shoulder blades melt down the back. Nice active back leg over lifting, flex the feet. Drop the hands, drop the back leg. Going to come into our warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So we're going to turn the toes towards the front mat, bend that front knee, back leg nice and strong. We have the legs as wide as feel comfortable too. I'm going to pause here. So we're going to move towards our balance here as well, into our half moon. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Just make sure this knee is over the ankle. Back leg is nice and straight. Back toes slightly turning in. Shoulders roll down the back. With the left hand around the waist, right forearm onto the thigh. Back leg slightly comes in. Find our supports under our hand. It can be a stool, it can be a sideboard, it can be anything. And when we've got our balance on our standing leg and our hand, our arm, we lift the back leg. We can lift the top arm to the sky. Stay here, or bend the top knee. Push the foot into the hand. Nice stretch on the thigh. Oops. And then bend the front knee, ground the back foot, forearm back onto the thigh. Back top arm can come past the ear. But with energy, this bottom hand turn towards our tummy. Stay here or come for a bind. Back arm around the back. Drop the front hand to the ground. Keep the front knee bent and then bring the hand under the leg. Maybe straighten the front leg. Then release the hands. Downward facing dog or cat or child, any pose, just to rest for a few breaths. Bend the left knee, step the left foot forward, ground the back foot. We're going to come into our warrior two on this side. So hips are facing forward, front knee's bent over the ankle, back leg can be as far back as you want, toes slightly turning in, arms to shoulder height, or if you're low on energy, the hands can stay on the hips if we're feeling low on energy or got a hay fever going on our chest, we can have our hands on the hips. Otherwise, arms nice and long, the shoulders rolling down the back. Gaze into our front fingers, our drishti, our gaze, our intention. Looking forward, being strong as you come into our day. Being in control, strong, with balance, with kindness and fairness. Nice straight leg at the back. Bring this back hand around the waist, forearm on the thigh, gaze to the sky. Either stay here or bring the hand past the ear. Stay here. If we're going to come into the bind, bring the top arm back around the back, bring that bottom arm round. You can always use a belt to hold on to, gaze in here. Knee can be straight or we can lengthen the leg. And then release, hands coming forward. We're going to come to stand onto the left leg. So we can keep both hands on the support, so we can bring the right arm around the back. Take the top hip back, so we're stacking the hips. Top hip on bottom hip. And then if you've got a balance, and the leg is nice and active, both toes are nice and spread wide, we can lift the top arm. Lift the ears from the shoulders, find space. Don't let the bottom ear just drop into the shoulder. Stay here or bend the top knee, hand to the foot, push the foot into the hand. Tummy drawing in strong energy around the tummy, around the ribs, the heart, the throat. Push the knee away if we're here. And then release. Back down, nice wide leg forward fold, elbows onto the knees, just move gently from side to side. Either stay here or we could just come down and dangle. Move the knees from side to side. Hands to the ground, long arms, turn to a twist, lift the right arm, open the heart, and then change. Right hand to the center, lift the left arm to the sky. And then come back, heel toeing, rounding up, going to pause. Pause in mountain pose, bringing our belt with us then. So just pausing, connecting to the earth. So we're going to come into our balancing pose. So we're going to start in tree. So if you want to be by somewhere you can hold or support, you know, a bed, a sideboard, a wall, anything, you're just going to come into tree. So we're going to come into tree on the left foot first. So we're going to just bring the right heel on the inside of the left ankle. And this is our rooted tree. So we want the knee to be open, so we want to start to open the hips. So a nice strong standing energy. Either stay here or we could use our belt if you've got slippy trousers on. And we could bring the belt under the sole of the foot. And we could bring the foot onto the calf. Keeping the knee out to the side. We want to make sure we've got the toes facing down the leg. Or we could bring the foot on the upper thigh. You want to turn and use the wall. So we can use the foot on the inner thigh as high up into the groin as we can. We want to make sure the toes are facing down. So we're not twisting this knee in an unhealthy way. It's a nice natural bend so the foot is facing down. If it doesn't feel comfortable, then don't. The main thing is our tree is balancing, so it doesn't matter if we're down on our calf, down on the floor. We're still going to get that balance. We're still going to get that strong energy in the standing leg. So just a little play. So we like to be. So you can always have the belt with the foot and then the belt over the shoulder. And you can always tighten, if you've got time, you can tighten the belt so that you've got a nice sturdy supportive system going on. And then the arms could be on the hips, or we could grow our branches to the sky. Tummy drawing in, feel strong energy around the tummy, drawing the tummy in, drawing the energy up through the sole of the foot, lifting the energy, rising the energy, fingertips dipping into the universal energy above. So feel that red energy on the earth, and that white or violet energy above the head. Just zipping through the body, strong body, balanced body. Pushing the thigh into the foot if it's in the thigh, and the foot into the thigh. Hands can come together into steeple pose, or palms together into our just our normal pose. Just what feels good. Again, the arms can come back by the ears, shoulders roll down, but tummy draws in, lift the energy up. Pausing here, breathing here. Find that balance of ease and strength. Slowly bring the hands down to the third eye, to the heart, and release. We're going to bring that foot away. So we want to use our wall or something for support, we can do. We're going to bring the belt behind us, bend the knee back. And we're just going to bring the belt maybe over the head. I'm going to tip forward. So we can use a wall to come onto. Just a balancing and a stretch. So balancing on that left leg, and just a real nice stretch on the back thigh. Just drawing the knee in. If we're on a wall, we can have maybe the elbows on the wall. And we can hold the belt in both hands. So we've got our arms on the wall. A little micro bend in the standing leg if we need. Nice back arch as well. Breathing here. Inhaling, exhaling. If you need to come out and come back in again, please do. Not feeling stuck. And then when you're ready, coming out, bring the belt arm onto the shoulder. I'm just going to pause in mountain just to check in with the energy, feel the difference between one side and the other. Exhale, chin to chest. We're going to come to stand in our rooted tree. So heel on the lower ankle, knee out to the side. And we can stay here, our hands can be our heart, or our hands can be above. If this feels really okay, we want to go to the next level. And we can bring our belt over our foot onto the end, onto the calf. And make sure the foot is facing down to the earth, so not skewing the knee. We may want to bring the foot up onto the inner thigh. We push the thigh into the foot, and we push the foot into the thigh. So we're drawing energy up and in. And we can use our belt over our shoulder, just to keep it there. Think of our hands on our hips or hands to the side. Just feel that broad connection of the foot to the earth. Maybe raise the branches to the sky. Maybe hands coming together. Strong energy around the tummy, on the waist, the hips, the glutes. Strong, flexible standing leg. Dipping the energy in above the head. Now you sit out. Slowly coming out. Oops. I'm going to find that dancer pose on this side now. So taking the foot back. And then tipping forward. Stretching the back thigh. Use our balance wall or something to lean onto. Little micro bend in that standing leg maybe. Coming out in here when it feels good to come in and out. One more time. And then slowly releasing. Just come to pause in tree pose. Sorry, not tree, and mountain. Inhaling, exhaling, feel energy, frequency vibrating higher through the whole of the body. The legs, the feet, the hands, the arms. Let the hands come inside, push the bottom back. Going to come into lunge, sorry, not lunge, squat, sorry. Either staying on a high squat with the elbows on the thighs, or toes turning out, dropping down into our low squat. Heels can be lifted. We can have our support underneath our heels, or they can just lift up. Either stay in the center, or the hands come down and the right leg can come out, toes and knee facing the sky. Hands on the earth, or one hand to the heart. Maybe both hands. Just changing sides when you move, you need to change sides. You can find your way here. And then changing, coming down. I'm going to stretch out the thighs. So either coming to hero pose with knees bent backwards, or just coming into butterfly, which is with our feet together. Hands on our tummy, just to reconnect to the earth. Breathe into our tummy. So we're going to recline, we're going to lie down. So either bringing the feet forward if we're in our hero pose. Or if we're in our butterfly, we can keep our feet together. Just let the hands come down behind the back. Now, if it's not structurally good for us to have hero pose and even reclining hero pose, then please just come with the feet together in that wide kneed butterfly pose. If it's okay and our knees are slowly coming down onto our hands, just lift the hips up to the tail under, onto our elbows, or all the way down, and the arms can come over the head. So make sure our knees feel safe. If you can't relax, if your face is tightening or breath is shortening, then just come out and change wherever we are. If we're in our hero pose, just gently coming out, hands under the bottom, just lift the body up. And then just the weight onto one side, release one leg, the other leg, and come back down to our back. If in our butterfly pose, just ground the feet, let the spine release down. Feel that the hips just gently rock forward and backwards. Just easing out the back. And then let the hips rock from side to side, so we start to have that gentle easing out, any tightness in the side of the body. And then circling from the hips to the spine, just like a little wobbly thing, wobbling round, easing out any tightness. Looking for any tension, any gripping, and see if we can breathe and just soothe it away with this gentle cradling, rocking. Either direction. And then pause in the center. We're going to come to an inversion. So if you'd like to stay with the body on the ground, we could just let the legs lift up, and we could always put support underneath the hips. As much support as we want, you know, as many blocks as we want. We let the legs just dangle like little bamboo shoots, just dangling out. So it just starts to let the mind settle and quieten. If you like to lift the body up and come into a snail pose, just bring the hand and the hips rocking up a little bit maybe. Use the hands just to lift up, and then when the hips are lifted, just move the shoulder blades underneath. Use the shoulders underneath. If you want all the weight onto be the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders, not on the neck. And then a little bend in the spine. Just washing anything out we don't need for our meridians, our urinary meridians. If you want to lift them up into a shoulder stand or a quarter shoulder stand, we can let the legs come lifted. Just again, just that, make sure the weight's on the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows. Make sure the head stays nice and centre, so not being tempted to turn the head. And make sure we stay working in a safe place. Or maybe we want to go a little bit strong into full shoulder stand where we lift the body, not like the feet coming backwards when we're in a straight line. You can't really see the feet so much. Hips forward, little soft feet. If we want to come into a plough, we can just bring the knees down to the forehead, lengthen one leg, and then the other foot down, the other knee down. And if the feet are on the ground or on some supports, we can just interlock fingers, get a nice strong straight energy for the leg, the arms. So don't stay too long, stay as long as you want. And when you do come down, make sure you remove any blocks from underneath us. Release the hands, so the hands are flat on the ground. Use the arms, the shoulders, the hands, just to ease the body down with control, bone by bone. And then bend the knees, ground the feet. Feet nice and wide, just let the knees roll to one side, the head the other. Just rest into a twist. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale, knees to center, let the knees drop down. The other side, the head rolls to the side. And then when you feel ready to, just lift the knees. Knees can rest against each other, which opens the back, hips. And we can relax here, hands on our tummy. Or we can let the legs lengthen away into our traditional Shavasana with the body straight. If it niggles our back, then just keep the knees bent or let them rest onto a chair, or we can move by a wall for a restorative inversion. Wherever we land, just let the hands rest anywhere on the body, just to feel the very gentle breath moving through the body. If we've got a blindfold, a mask, we put that over our eyes just to block any light out. Just allow the body to calm and to relax. Probably the most important pose of the practice is Shavasana. So we moved all the energy around the body, we removed blockages, all that highway of energy flowing freely. So feel from the toes, feet, breathing it through the torso, through the head, filling with the whole body, the arms, the hands, filling up with pranic energy, healing energy, a light energy. So whatever colour resonates, just breathing that colour around the body, from the centre of your being, filling up all the corners with loving light energy. Gentle energy. Resilient energy. Breathing into the center of your heart, the center of your being. Feel that vibration there. Place of stillness, of timeless energy. Ancient wisdom. Any words of wisdom that arise, positive, refreshing, nourishing words, just allowing them to flood out and around the body. To The outer edges of the body and the skin, the air around. Sparkling energy. Pulsating energy. Into the auric field around you, that protective shield around the body. Pure energy. Maybe filling the area around you with light energy. The whole room lighting up. The whole of the building lighting up with that loving, strong, caring energy. Joyful energy. Floating above your home, higher and higher, of your village, your town, of the earth, looking down. Flying, soaring, sweeping in the sky, higher and higher through the clouds, through the atmosphere, into the sky, the stars, the planets, higher and higher, into the white light, pure energy, universal, divine energy, soaring, sweeping up. And then soaring down towards the earth. Going back into the atmosphere, past the stars. Bringing that energy with you, coming down, down, down. Over your town, your village, coming down, down. Over your house, your home. Seeing in to your home, seeing your loved ones, coming down into this room. And just hovering above you, seeing you lying here. Get a sense of your being, your body, your emotions, your thoughts and feelings. Then landing back in your body and sensing what it feels to be you in this moment. Either staying on your back longer or curling into a tiny little ball on the right side, whatever feels right. Just staying here. As long as you need. Not rushing anywhere. Thinking about how you'd like your day to be. And taking that with you into the next part of your day. Balanced with ease. Namaste.